sanibonani. Sengibonga lapha ke uNdlovu katsheni ke Indlovu engasinto umboko wayo. Indlovu edla ekhaya ngokuswela ulusi marita. Ewu. Welcome to Basement Church. Today we are talking about being vulnerable. Today we're talking about opening up as a man. We have Mr Vongo on the line to discuss this topic with him. Look, the aim here is just that we're encouraging men to talk. I do believe that it's okay to cry. It's okay to talk about your feelings as a man. It's okay to say if you can't do something, if you're not good at it, if you're struggling, ask for help. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Alright, so please do enjoy the show. Subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Spotify, Basement Chat. YouTube, Basement Chat. And do enjoy the show, man. Subscribe, like, share, do all these things, man. Tell a friend to do the things. Welcome, Mr. Vongo on the Basement Chat.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. So this is where men talk. We want men to talk. I can tell you about that. Yeah. So today we're dealing with. We just want to know, how does a man become vulnerable? Like, how do I know how do I learn how to talk as a man?
How do you learn as a man to talk?
Yeah.
I think maybe if we can phrase it differently.
Okay.
Not just talking, but maybe how can a man learn to open up? Because vulnerability is about opening up your feelings. It's like displaying your emotions, openly. And the reason why I think it is a challenge for men to do so is because of how men were socialized. I'm using the word were carefully, because the new generation, the younger generation, the much younger generation are more open about their feelings than us when we were growing up and people before us.
Sure.
Because because it's the socialization of feelings was that a man is strong.
Yeah.
So if you show feelings, if you show feelings, you're a sissy. All those perceptions that people have. So you've got to be macho. So a man would want to show his macho side of the, that he's strong, and as a result of that, most men are bleeding from inside.
Sure.
But portraying a very macho image that I can cope with this, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it is something that they call it emotional literacy. It is something that we have to train. In fact, the society itself needs to embrace that kind of thing. That as human beings, whether you're a man or a woman, you are an emotional being. You have feeling.
Yeah.
So it starts, in my view, it starts from the society embracing the fact that you've got to be given an opportunity to display how you feel about things.
Sure.
Because I mean, more than any other time, we see men committing suicide. We see men depressed. We see men dying without saying anything. It's all these things in the list of things that men are taught to be, you know, the thing about being strong, being vulnerable is not part of the list.
Sure.
So this thing of saying it's okay to break down as a man, it's okay to cry. It's do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Without being perceived as weak.
Sure.
You see? Because in my view, Mina, I think being afraid to show your emotions is being a coward.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah. Sure. Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of men out there, maybe they do want to be vulnerable. They do want to open up. But I mean, where do you start if your whole life you grew up like not really, you didn't know how to talk? I mean, how do you help someone out there to actually learn to do these things and do them right?
I think it starts from teaching ukuthi vulnerability in tone. And I think it somebody said something what vulnerability is the cornerstone of any connection, any relationship.
Sure.
Okay, so you can't be in a healthy relationship without being vulnerable, because relationships involve feelings, involves emotions. There has to be a time when you say to anyone or a relationship, like, you've hurt me, without being afraid you are weak. Do you understand what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah. Yeah, but so and we are scared of doing that because we don't want to be perceived. So iqala ekuthini sifundiswe ukuthi there's nothing wrong with being vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like for example, if I want to help you with something that you're going through, let's say, because it's man to man, I cannot succeed in helping you if I'm not vulnerable in putting down my own weaknesses, my own shortcomings, my own. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So without showing my rough edges, but as men, what we do, we want to show our perfect macho side.
Sure.
We don't want to expose, our weaknesses, and some of our weaknesses is showing our emotions.
Sure.
And we need to know that being vulnerable is the path to true human connection.
Yeah.
Lando yokuthi, like for example, imagine nje wena Bonga, say you married, ne? Unkosikazi wakho athi, I know uBonga ayizomphatha kakuhle ke this thing. How does she know that? She knows ukuthi because you were vulnerable, you once voiced it out, you once showed that emotion. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you portray yourself as this thick wall or thick brick, engenazi emotions, it doesn't really help.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying?
Sure, that's true.
So
that's true.
So it's something that needs to be taught. It's okay to break down, man. It starts from, I've got boys only. It's okay to tell my boys, it's fine, boy, to feel this way. Okay, cry.
Sure.
So I think that's where we can help men. It's okay to show your rough edges. Okay.
Sure.
Nokuthi knowing ukuthi once you expose your rough edges, once you expose ukuthi when you do break down, we take the responsibility ukuthi there are some people who are going to accept you and there are some people who are not going to. who are not going to accept you.
Sure.
And
Sure.
that's being a man. When I broke down, I know that people are going to be against it, and it's okay. Than moving around showing this macho image of when you are strong.
Yeah, but do you think that men, the reason they don't want to be vulnerable, do you think it's because they think that they'll appear weak, and that people take advantage of them? What do you think is the reason, actually? What do you think is stopping men to be vulnerable?
It is the fear. It is the fear of being perceived as weak.
Sure. But by who? Who's going to perceive you as a weak person if you actually
It is the fear of it. Remember all these perceptions that society has about being a man. And when I talk about society, I'm talking about not only men only. I'm talking about women only. Both men and women, both genders, for instance. As because nabo basosalaje ngolo.
Sure.
You understand what I'm saying? Or repressive as umdo weak.
Sure.
When somebody did it and then you broke down, nobody wants to be such. Yeah, so love because I'm a men generally have very sensitive egos, I would say.
Yeah. True.
Listen to this. When you were growing up and you were playing with boys, it became a big issue. My thing is bigger than yours. Yours is smaller. You understand what I'm saying? It starts from there because
that's yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because that perception, because if it's bigger than yours, then it means I'm more powerful.
I'm greater.
Men love power, yes, and control, and being intact and organized and collect. So the minute you do something opposite to what is expected of you, okay? Because in Ntokwazana, how do you see yourself kengoku? You will see yourself as not good enough.
Sure.
And as men, we cover those things very nicely.
Sure.
Nobody will know, nobody will see. This is how I feel about myself.
Sure.
And kengoku, when things are not going well, you commit suicide. You do all sorts of things. Get into drugs because you're trying to run away from the fact that you are an emotional being.
Sure.
So you are bound to be vulnerable.
You put it so nicely. Yeah. Sure. But I think there's someone listening out there, someone who is like, you know what, I want to open up, and I think being vulnerable, it goes for both parties. It goes for females, it goes for males, but particularly we're talking about men here. So, like, who do I talk to? Who do I go to and talk to? Because now the thing is, with being vulnerable and opening up to people, it comes with, if I tell you my issues, you will never look at me the same. You might forgive me, you might help me, but as a human being, there is that fear from me who wants to talk. I'm scared to talk because if I tell this person, they will never look at me the same. It doesn't matter if I'm telling them about my past, but they will just never look at me the same. So who do I talk to? Where is my safe space as a man, where I know I can run to and actually talk and be free? What do you do with a young man who want to talk out there?
Okay, you know, Bonga, con is into that you cannot know, ne? When you let's just say, for instance, now you are in Cape Town, ne? You see this beautiful lady walking across the street, ne?
Yeah.
And you want to tell her something, ne?
Yeah.
When you take the step of going to tell that lady whatever you want to tell, you are taking a risk of being listened to or rejected.
Sure.
You cannot know that beforehand.
Sure.
Ne? So, for instance, one of the ways of making this thing, Yokuti, who do I open to? What is the safe space? Is to start, because everybody wants to protect his dignity or her dignity.
That's true.
So we've got to start. We have to start forums like what you're doing now. Start forums where people are going to feel that I am. My issues are safe here, and build trust. There has to be forums where we say to people, it's okay to open up. It's okay to do this. But people have to trust us before they open up. They cannot trust you. They cannot open up if they don't trust you.
Sure.
Ne? So Noguti, and in those forums, this is where we talk to people about admitting that, I am imperfect. I suck in some of the things. I'll give you one example. I'll give you a perfect example. What happens when a group of men sit? You know that you've been to church with a group of men when a soccer match between Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates was playing the previous day, and on Sunday we were at church, and everybody is talking about soccer. Ne?
Yeah.
When you come in and you say, as a man, men look at you very strangely when you say, I don't like soccer. I don't watch soccer.
Well.
Because it's something about what kind of a man. But in reality, not every man loves soccer.
I don't, and unfortunately, I'm not.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when people are crazy, they cannot miss anything. They cannot. I don't. You understand what I'm saying? So you overcome the fear. I don't care what they think about. All I know, every human being, that he sucks from. Nobody is good at everything.
Sure.
Do you understand what I'm saying? But we want to be good at everything. We want to portray that we are good. We want to portray Noguti, when somebody comes and attack my family, I'm a fighter, I will kill you. But that's not true. It's not. So there are certain things that I'm good at. There are certain things that are, Noguti, I don't like bad news.
Yeah.
I those are the kind of things. Instead of making ourselves see we are strong, we can handle everything. No. It starts from there. So once we build those forums that are well facilitated, Gabantu who know all these issues, because abantu are going to come there and say izinto about themselves. Once we have those forums and safe spaces for men, because we're helping men here. Ungafumanisa into yoba indoda ifike endlini idubule umfazi wayo, idubule nabantwana izidubule. Those are the clear signs.
Yeah.
And if this man had a space, so good, this is how I'm feeling. I'm feeling useless.
Sure. I'm
feeling hopeless. I'm feeling that I'm thinking without being judged. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm a failure. Ne? Hang himself in the garage.
Sure.
Because if you're there, what are they going to say if they know I am not coping to even take care of this family and I?
Sure.
We are scared of being judged. So everybody is acting as if I can, which is not true.
Sure. Wow.
And do you understand what I'm saying? But these are the kinds of forums that are going to equip men to accept themselves.
Sure. Accept themselves. Yeah. Wow.
Accept yourself. Accept your imperfections. zobomi bakho, that it does not make you less of a man.
Sure.
It doesn't.
Sure.
And nokuthi ke, we are living in a society that is very negative. Abantu always focus on your weaknesses. But I think if men bayakhiwa, they will be able to stand even those criticisms. So good, you're not man enough. But as I am human, I'm weak, I break down sometimes when I cannot. So if I'm not coping about anything, I have a platform where I will say, guys, I am not coping.
Sure. Wow.
As a result, into eyenzekayo, utywala, booze, and drugs become a way of escaping all these fears.
Sure. Wow. I think, but you've put this so well. I think someone who's out there listening, who's hearing this, this will help. I think essentially what we're saying here is indoda maikale, because you heal when you cry. Actually, you heal when you open up. What we are suggesting is that find some form of, or somebody or someone you trust, somewhere where you can be able to open up and talk, because you heal, as opposed to trying to look all strong for nothing, because you're just going to collapse, because the next thing you're going to be drowning in alcohol, whatever the case is, whatever the form of escape that you might want to use as a man, because you're not talking. And I think the biggest thing that men need to start to do is to actually talk and open up and be honest to yourself as a man. This is what I can do. This is what I can't do. Yeah.
Listen. Even sasingathethanga about struggles this time, about admitting ukuthi we have shortcomings. Nje ukuthi it's so, because we're living in a society that a lot of things have been distorted right from the start. Ukuthi it's even difficult to affirm another man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because the minute you do that, hey, I don't go funding. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because we're living in a world, and sometimes that affirmation or nigga, that person is the last that he needed before Asbulal.
Sure.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Environment where he's not appreciated.
Sure.
Do you understand what I'm saying? So isn't does it go take and it makes it even more tougher.
Sure.
For men to nalento ukuthi thina sasiqale loo nto ukhulela emakhayeni where your father never shows emotions. My dad never said I love you, my boy, I appreciate you, never. That kind of approach to life, it continues to even your kids.
Sure.
Abantwana bakho babona njengolokhu always angry, akajoki, amazi noba utheni, amazi xa evuya, amazi naxa engavuyi. And if you break that through this forum, you need to hug your kids, tell them you love them, whether they're boys or girls. You tell them so they know that they have a father who loves them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
So it's an important thing that you're raising now, because a lot of people are stuck there.
Sure. Wow.
I'll never forget, maybe the last thing I say before I shut up, because I talk a lot. I went to a funeral. I went to a funeral in PE. It was a very sad funeral of this guy who died, was Chisa Nendru. And the brother of this guy said something that really touched me. What he ubhutwam ubhubhe ethule.
Sure.
He never said a word.
Wow.
Yeah, and even he never say the word. And that sign, as Bulalengola Hlobo, was a sign of being scared. So if we cannot quickly save men and the younger generation and the boys, things are going to be good.
Wow. I do believe that from what you're saying, Mr. Vongo, that men need to start, especially men who have kids and men who are in leadership positions. They need to start show some love, because when you love, then I believe then you feel safe. You feel I can talk to this person. So I think men need to start showing love towards each other, and I think that will make a room for other men to feel comfortable and be able to talk. When you feel appreciated, I would want to believe that you would also want to talk about about everything that you're going through. So it does look like love wins again. Yeah, but before I let you go, I mean, I would like to know what keeps Mr. Vongo going? Where do you draw strength?
Bonga, for me, I don't live my life to prove a point to anybody.
Sure.
And I think Noguti, my relationship with God helps me to understand is the foundation of the relationships that I make with other men. Do you understand what I'm saying? Uguti, to him, I can tell him anything.
Sure.
Noguti, ndiyazazi ukuthi whatever I am, whatever strong points and nazo, so it's not important for me to play perfect. Is to be myself and know myself, know my weaknesses, and I think being true to myself keeps me going, and allowing God to help me. So I'm not. Those are the things I'm not scared about.
Sure.
I'm not scared who thinks of me as what. I'm not scared about that. I'm not. I'm that I'm macho. I'm not macho. I know I'm not macho, and I will never be macho. So I live my life. I raise my children. I look after my family. Right of doing that. I'm not in competition with anyone, including other men, other fathers.
Sure.
So with God's help.
Wow.
Like I always say, we can't change the world at once, but we can always try, one step at a time. We can always try and do our best, and advance the kingdom of God. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us today, Mr. Vongo. We really appreciate your time. Thank you.